Hello, welcome to the Steam Release Podcast. This is episode 39. And joining me today is Roadypie.
Hey.
And of course, we have Uncle Chat right over there. So say hello. Dear Akiho is here at the moment. But yeah, always we love to see your chat. So just let us know. We're glad to have you as our co-host this week. So
welcome to the Bear Cave.
Oh my gosh, I just got host. I didn't realize my alerts are on.
Oh no.
Okay. So yeah, that is my voice, by the way. So I'm gonna mute alerts. But anyhow, so yeah, welcome. So I guess I forgot the little bit, but yeah, we this last week we dug through the release list so that you don't have to, and we found some awesome games.
Yes, shorter list this week, but some exceptional games.
Mm-hmm. And before the show, I was bringing up, I was mentioning Rody. If you ever come to San Diego, you have to have chamoy. It's this amazing drink. It's diced. So it's a drink / you also have to eat it with a spoon because it has like cubed mango, but then some of it's pureed mango with ice, and then it's like swirled with a chili pepper, and it's just that is you right now, chamoy. So it's chamoy is so good. It's very refreshing. It doesn't leave your mouth burning because like the sugar kind of keeps it from burning.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
It's really refreshing. So anyhow,
I have to try that now. I wonder if I can get it somewhere in London.
Maybe it is very Mexican. So I don't know, and I think it's specifically Western Mexico. Where it's a thing. Okay. So a lot of the Mexican food down here in San Diego is Baja Mexican, which is a very particular type of Mexican cuisine. You can't, like up in Washington where I'm from, it's all Oaxacan Mexican cuisine, which is milder, more beef oriented, more like kind of the meat and potatoes type of Mexican food. While down here, it's more seafood. They also like their potatoes a lot, but they mix potatoes with a lot of things that most Mexicans wouldn't mix potatoes with. So it's just it's a different thing, yeah.
I mean, I'm down for any culinary adventure.
It's so cool, yeah. And San Diego is a place for culinary adventure. This is not a food podcast, though, so
no.
We will talk about... Rody, what have you been up to this week?
So, tragedy struck. My graphics card is kaput, so I'm on a laptop right now. So yeah, for a few days I wasn't really playing anything. I did jump back onto The Room 3. And it's I feel like it's one of those games that I always tend to play to sort of like wind me down a bit until I get a bit stuck, or until I feel like no, I can't be bothered to do any more tonight, so I'll just leave it. So yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun. I think I'm chipping away at it. But I did and also I hurt my arm, so that's
no.
Yeah, so it's like a double tragedy this week. So it's not, a lot of the games I play require like mousey keyboard or just the keyboard, so yeah, not having both your hands is not great.
Yeah.
So but I did catch Sincerely Day, another friend of the podcast, stream Grey Matter.
Oh, okay.
I think it's a 2010 point and click game, and the writer is Jane Jensen, who it does like really macabre kind of stories. So yeah, I was watching that. It's really quite enjoyable. You can tell it's kind of like a bit it's on Steam. You can get it on Steam. I actually have it in my library, and I didn't realize until like I looked it up myself, and I said, "Oh, I have this." But yeah, you're like a magician who's gone to Oxford for some reason. I didn't catch the details for that. But you do kind of look like a pirate, I have to say. You look a bit like a pirate. And you are staying with this professor who runs sort of like neurology sort of experiments, and you have to, and your first task is to gather enough students together so he can perform these tasks. So yeah, you can bring it up on Steam so you can see.
Yeah, well, how do you spell it? I mean, what's it?
I think it's with a GRA. Is it GRA? Yeah, GRA. It's 2 words. Gray Matter, Matter.
Oh, okay. That's why I spelled gray with Grey, and I was just like,
yeah.
I'm not seeing anything. And I was like, oh, that's right. There we go. All right, Gray Matter.
But yeah, it's got this very, it's 3D point and click game, and it doesn't seem to be the problem with other people's machines, but with Sincerely Day's machine, the animation would go a bit slower. So their walking was incredibly painfully slow, but she's, we were sticking with it because the story is just fascinating and the characters are just nice to like.
Yeah, it is quite pretty, and yeah, she does look like a Hot Topic pirate. So
yes. There were some like problematic moments in it because there was because one of the students that you're trying to convince to come do this experiment with, he said that he had lost this art film that he had done, and he needs you to get it back. If you get it back for him, he will join you for the experiment. And it's the person who he's filmed is like sitting sort of behind you, and she'd taken the hard copy from it, deleted it from his system, and she was just like, I've got the only copy, and it's like, why are we helping this scumbag? You know what I mean?
Exactly. You're like, why am I doing this?
Yeah, exactly. I think
I need some justification.
Yeah, I think some of the reasonings are just like for you to do anything. Your motivations, I just think were a bit skewed, and like a lot of us in the stream were saying, why are we doing this? Why are we helping this person? And why are we being a bad person? So yeah,
especially when it's not established that like you're kind of a scumbag.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like,
pretty much.
What? Oh my.
Because there was this sort of naive student as well, and she's from Scotland, and she seems so nice and so sweet. And it's like, oh, you can make some quick money, and it's like, don't convince her to do this experiment. Please don't.
Please don't.
She's just too nice. Yeah. So that was Grey Matter. So that was interesting. But what about you? What have you been playing?
Well, me. So you were mentioning that you're one hand down. So I've actually been playing a game that only requires one hand. It's not what you think. But it's so it is a delightful game that is kind of niche, but I love it. It is Kingdom Rush. I ended up getting a Steam like wallet code. So I was just like, well, I have some money and I don't want to leave money on Steam. So it's like, what can I get? Oh, Kingdom Rush. So this is a tower defense game that was originally on Congregate, but they've polished it up. Like the game I played on Congregate, this is not that game. Like they've upped the graphics, they've upped the functionality, they've added a lot more, like it runs smoother. It's definitely worth buying it. And for some reason, the video is a lower FPS than the actual game. So that's kind of weird because I've been playing the game and it's like it's much higher FPS than this. So that's weird.
It's weird. I feel like we've talked about this
Yeah, so it was the sequel to this that got released, and we talked about it, yeah.
I see.
And now there's 2 sequels, so, but yeah, so I've been checking it out. It's very, very fun for those who like tower defense games. It's pretty challenging, like there's, it does actually take a lot of thinking to figure out, because they set up all these challenge and hard modes and stuff. So it's really fun. I like it. I've spent 17 hours on it, so... That's...
Wow, so yeah, you got your money's worth.
And it only requires 1 hand. So, if you're looking for something to do. Alrighty.
I have to say, tower defenses aren't really my...
You're not your thing? Oh, it's okay.
No.
But, yeah, it's a really pretty game. And it's got a pretty good tutorial. So, and besides that, more Final Fantasy 14. I'm getting so close to doing the Nadam. That like big fight on the Azim step, yes. Nice. So I've just been I just had the like one dude, the leader of the Oranir, just kidnapped me, so that happened. So but yeah, so yeah, that's what I've been doing this last week.
Progressing through the story quite steadily. That's good. Keep going, keep going.
I want to see Stormblood so bad. Yes. I mean, yeah, the end of Stormblood and then Shadowbringers, yes.
Yes.
All right. With that's what we did this week, and everyone be sure to let us know in the comments what indie games y'all have been interested in. And another little thing of news, student releases have continued this week. I don't think we featured any in our list this week, but there are they're still coming out, so just go ahead and like search for free games on just go ahead and search free games on Steam, and maybe like cut out most multiplayer games, and that's how you can generally find the student games.
Is it one company that, I mean, one particularly one student?
It's a few. The DigiPen is a notable one, so right. DigiPen does it. There's also SMU, which is let me see, I'm trying to remember what they're called. There are a few other colleges, like Oxford has a game development division. They don't release as many games on Steam though. So there's various students. I need to make a proper list and present that maybe next week. Yeah, just a proper list so you guys can regularly like put them on your watch, and so you can find all the student games that come out. So
that'd be nice. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You do that.
Yeah, Falcon's Bane, welcome.
Hey, Falcon's Bane. Thanks for coming in and joining us.
All right, and before we get on to like honorable mentions, we did get a comment on our YouTube channel from Doppelganger. He said, clicked on time for Mecha Bolt and saw a few seconds of Biolab Wars. Biolab Wars, if you don't remember, that was the Brazilian game we talked about last week with the not too great poster, but has that cool Contra look. So because when I set the timestamps, I often set them a little bit before, like where we talk about the game. So they saw that Contra style graphics, went ahead and got it since it was just $1. So yeah, we're glad to help you, Doppelganger. Really glad you found a game. So
yeah, and remember guys, keep posting your comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube.
Oh yeah, and this is of course Doppelganger. I mean, yeah, Biolab Wars. All right, so with that, I think we're ready. Are we ready?
We're ready.
Ready. Okay, so for honorable mentions, we've got just a few things to bring up. The first, a game that we've talked about in the past, I believe episode... Oh, you put it in the comments. You put it in the comments which episode. Dandy and Randy has had its full release on September 2nd. We had a really thorough chat about it, and I'll include a link to it on the YouTube video so that people can go back and look at that episode. So, but yeah, Dandy and Randy, it is out. It's a little sort of adventure puzzle game.
So yeah, and congrats guys for the full release.
Yes, it's always nice when things make it out of early access.
Yeah.
So, and this is their third game. They actually made Dreaming Sarah and Supernatural. Oh no, Supernatural Undead, but that's just part of it. Dreaming Sarah. Okay. They also made a game called Dreaming Sarah, which is another bit less bright, but still pixel art game. So yeah. And a little unsettling. Okay, so. And we had one more honorable mention. Newt 1 has also gotten its full release.
Yeah, we said that we would link this one as well, because this is another one we previously spoke about.
Way back in episode 6, I think, of the podcast. So it's been a long time, but now it has its full release. This one reminds me a lot of Wander, although I think Wander came out afterwards.
Song.
Yeah, Wander Song.
Wander Song. Yeah. We said that during the podcast too, but there was something quite flat about the visuals that the platforms and everything.
I think this is probably more of a game. I think this is probably more of a kids game, like a kids first platformer kind of thing, because nothing seems particularly like. It doesn't seem particularly super challenging. It seems to be more creative, like, oh, I'm coloring the world kind of thing and jumping from platform to platform. It seems like something that, you know, you could feel probably safe just letting your kid, like, enjoy. So, so it's pretty. Right.
Yeah, it's supposed to be non-violent as well. It's non-violent platformer. So, yeah, that's something that's quite nice, I think, to bring to kids.
And for 3D art on a budget, it's not a bad look. It's just it's flat, but it can be very hard to make 3D art look good on a budget. Yeah. Which is why I often encourage people to go 2D. It's like just go 2D. It's a lot easier if you're a small studio. Easier may be the wrong word. It's a very labor intensive, but you don't need as many technical skills to make it look good. Right. So there's so many more variables once you add a new axis, and it can very easily look bad. Yeah. And that's our honorable mentions. Yeah.
So on to the main list now.
Yes, the main list. Sunday, September 1st, we have Fables of Talumos by Cheesemaster Games, which I have to say that I would think they're in Wisconsin. They're from Wisconsin, but they're not. So Fables of Talumos is from Calgary, Alberta. It's a pick by dev Cheesemaster Games. Fables of Talumos is a pixel art adventure game set in a fantasy world of Talumos. The game has fast-paced and challenging combat, interesting characters, powerful weapons and items, and a unique fantasy setting. It's weird. The pixel art. I think you have words.
Yeah, it just kind of looks kind of muddy. And I don't know. I think they're trying to do very interesting things with it, and I think some people would enjoy this. But for me, visually, it doesn't look that great. I don't know. Yeah,
that's the thing. That I kind of thought that as well when I first looked at it, and I still do. The pixel art, there's so much effort that goes into this. Like, I can see that there's been a ton of effort, but the aesthetic is not hitting. Like, at least for me either.
Yeah. No, that's the same. It's like, yeah, I can definitely see. Oh, it's got this nice little details when he's putting on his cloak and everything. The animation when he does rolls as well. But there's the land itself. There's like some of the bits that just like, oh, that looks a bit samey, or it looks a bit too muddy, and yeah, it just doesn't pop. Nothing it really pops. Yeah.
I do have to give kudos to the very, like, he's got some very bizarre visuals for this title, which that can be hard to do in pixel art, but there's a lot of, like, really bizarre visuals. So it definitely has a side of a weird It's definitely leaning more in the sort of weird fantasy universe.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just it's pixel art, so much work into it. There's things that are pretty, but it just doesn't all come together. Something's not coming together, and it's hard to explain. So
yeah, absolutely. I'm not that much of an artist. I used to do photography, but it's like, just trying to fix someone else's artwork. You can't really. It's a very difficult thing to do, I think, even when you know something isn't working.
That said, I have seen a lot of pixel art games from the 90s that had a similar aesthetic to this, and I have to say, this looks better than that. It's like, it looks, for people looking for maybe that aesthetic of the 1990s, sort of the late 1990s, early 2000s, that weird era of pixel art as 3D was starting to come in. I think this kind of fits into that, like, that style, that aesthetic. So I'm sure some people are going to find it appealing, and there's definitely things about this that make me curious. But yeah, it's just okay. So
this is £8.29. I'm not sure how long it is. And there's not many reviews. There's like, I can see 2 reviews, and one of them's got 24.5 hours, and one of them's got 0.8 hours on it. So who knows? Who knows how long this is?
Yeah. The action actually does look fairly smooth, so it does have that going for it. So for those looking for gameplay, this might be a good one to go for. Both reviews are positive, but I mean, with only a sampling of 2, that's really not enough to make any like recommendations. So but yeah, Fables of Talumos, Cheesemaster Games, this is their first title on Steam, so congratulations. And yeah. Our next title is from Monday, September 2nd, and it is Root Letter Last Answer. And when you sent Root Letter, it actually took me a while to find this game, because there's a lot of other like Root Letter listings. Yeah, but I think I got the right one.
Yeah. This is it. So this is a mystery adventure which is sold by using 2 visual features, live action and illustrations. So I have the original game, which is just Root Letter, and it's, I think it's something like set 10 years after there was this murder or whatever, or maybe even 20 years. I can't quite remember. So it's been a while since I played it, and it was the only visual novel I've got on my PlayStation 4. But yeah, it's you receive like a mysterious letter, and you then start your investigation, sort of thing. And this is a follow-up to that. And the other one is using more sort of traditional looking visual novel animation and art style, whereas this is using like FNV elements, which I know I love. So yeah, I'm quite interested in this. However, like most successful series and visual novels, this is quite expensive. So this is $23.79.
They know people want to see the next chapter, so
yeah, exactly.
So that last one took place like 10 years after the murder. Apparently this one takes place 15 years after the murder.
Okay.
But it's so what's really cool, it's not just live action. You actually have a toggle where you can play the game with the old visuals, which I think is like they didn't just film stuff, they also did the hand drawn for the whole game. I was reading through the description, and I was just like, really, that's neat.
That's kind of cool.
You know, especially for a series that has established itself as having this sort of anime aesthetic. It's like for their new game, when they're like, oh, here's a live action aesthetic, it's kind of a way to it's a lot of effort, but it's kind of a cool way for them to sort of test the waters. Like, hey, if we slip into FMV, are people going to prefer that over the old version or not? And, it's kind of a cool way if they're moving towards more FMV.
Yeah. I really do need to pick Root Letter up and give it a playthrough again, because I only got like I didn't even get that far. I think it's one of those things you kind of lose momentum with. So, but yeah, it's quite interesting, quite intriguing.
Yep, and though it's showing everything in Japanese here, it does have full English and traditional Chinese translation. The audio is only in Japanese, but for those sub-only anime weebs like myself, the Japanese audio will suffice. So, because it's always weird with especially with live action dubs, because like their lips aren't matching up with what's being said. So yeah. Anyhow, it looks really good. It looks really, really good. So yeah. With that, our next title is Battle Royale Tycoon. This is by Endless Loop Studio, located in Portugal. Yeah, design and build arenas for your guests to fight in. Keep them happy, your workers paid, and make a profit. Although, I imagine I imagine your guests don't survive if it's like a battle royale. Like, you have the guests come in and it's like, oh, only one of you is going to survive.
I think the Radio Tom was really looking forward to this game coming out. So I think he'd be super happy.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a quick one. I don't like the visuals. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, the visuals are crunchy. Is a term you like to use. It's yeah, no, I'm not a fan of the visuals. It kind of, if anyone's going to use this kind of visuals, it does sort of work for a sim. And it's a kind of a funny idea of like jumping on the battle royale bandwagon, but you're a tycoon, so it's a management game. That's kind of cheeky. I like that concept, like taking a fad and just make it into something else. Which, that's cool. That's cool. It's creative. They could have done another top-down battle royale, and they didn't. Let me see.
We'll have to ask the Radio Tom when he gets this and when he plays it, how good it is. It is 10% off right now, and it's £6.47. So.
Oh yeah, $8.99 US.
So, and of course, it's one of those things that time spent playing it is going to vary because you know it's a sim.
Oh yeah. Akio said the prison architect and RimWorld is the best pawn people, as far as like that aesthetic.
Yeah. I was thinking that it does remind me of RimWorld more, especially kind of like those sort of muddy colors.
Ooh, you know, one game I really want to get is Parkitect. Ooh.
That is on my list.
It is
on my wish list. Yes.
I want to get that one.
Yeah. We talked about that one, and it was one of those things where it was whether the demo was substantial enough, because like with any of those kind of games, I think if it has a really good demo, then you know it's easy for you to get into. But of course, if the demo's not that great, you always feel you're not doing everything that you can to build like your sort of utopia, if you like.
It needs to properly teach you like through a proper tutorial and all that. Yeah,
absolutely.
Battle Royale but yeah, that's Battle Royale Tycoon. But yeah, hey, that's interesting. So you and me, our tastes intersect at Parkitect, theme park management. That's interesting.
Yeah, well, I do like sort of like city builders and everything.
City building can be fun.
So you know, the roller coaster thing is, you know, interests me as well. Yeah, so very similar.
All right. Tuesday, September 3rd. Our next title has a somewhat weird name, Wally and the Fantastic Predators. Which it has an interesting aesthetic. So with this game, when I first looked at it, it looks kind of blurry and not great. The small screen size does not help it. However, then I went and looked at it in full screen, and it changed my mind. So I can't really demonstrate that to you guys here, But yeah, and full screen, no, full screen on Steam is broken right now. I forgot, but yeah, so it does look a lot better full screen, and it's like the idea of like just take Sonic and Diablo and make them have a baby, and that's this game, where it's like this really high speed, top down action game.
The fastest rogue-lite ever created, the dungeon is alive. Pissed that you keep killing all his friends, so he vows to make your life miserable by any means necessary.
Yep. And it has co-op, sort of co-op. The second player gets to control the dungeon and all the enemies within the dungeon. So it becomes a game of wits between the player and the dungeon master. So that's pretty cool.
But it is local co-op, so
yes.
Couch co-op.
Another one of those couch co-op titles.
And it's 10% off right now, and it's £10.25. I'm not sure if it says how long it is. It says a daily speedrun, reach the 5th floor as fast as possible while one-shotting enemies by rolling into them. So there's like different modes. There's different like sort of like modes you can do. You can do a daily speedrun and things like that, which is interesting. I've seen various times though, like anything from under an hour to 30 hours. So
yeah, well, it is a roguelike, which means that they may have done one run and died, or maybe a couple runs and died, and just been like, oh, okay, so this is how it progresses. Because that's kind of how roguelikes are. Like, once you figure out how the game is, like, okay, it's going to be 30 hours of this.
Yeah.
So, that's one reason why I like roguelites, is the end game kind of starts as soon as you start playing. It's not like the game's going to change incredibly. But yeah, Wally and the Fantastic Predators. This is by Boon Dev in the state I'm in right now of California. So yeah, and it's $13.49 US at 10% off. I am kind of tempted to put this on my wish list, but then I remember that I sucked at Sonic. Like I cannot react that fast, but that doesn't stop me from playing Sonic.
That's true.
Yeah.
You don't have to be good, you just have to enjoy it.
So, you know what? I'll pop it on my wish list for now. Maybe I'll remove it in the future, but I'll pop it on my wish list. It has things I like. Anyhow. Again, on the roguelike train, our next title is Children of Morta. So Tuesday was the day of roguelites.
Children of Morta is a story-driven action RPG game about an extraordinary family of heroes. Lead the Burgesons with all their flaws and virtues against the forthcoming corruption. Will you be able to sacrifice everything to save the ones you care about or care for? Sorry. Yeah, this I've seen this doing the round sort of on like sort of indie podcasts and various other places. So yeah, this is an interesting one, and of course it looks absolutely fantastic. But yeah, there's you live in this manor with all your family and everything like that, and you're all different members of the family have different abilities and everything, and if you are supposed to rid the world of corruption, your family is. So it's interesting.
And it's so storytelling. There is no voice acting in this game. There is just a narrator. So like some other games like Bastion, they just have a narrator. Now this narrator has a great voice, and he's really good at expressing the emotion the character's experiencing at the moment. Because this is a very it's a roguelike, but there's a lot of story in this game, and not every player is going to see all parts of the story when they play through it. Because there's some are mandatory encounters, but there's some encounters if you don't go the right way, you may never see. And so there's some sort of replayability. You get new characters in your group. Some characters die and they don't come back. and so there's a bit of so there's a lot of this sort of branching narrative, and it sort of appealed to me as someone from a really big family. It did kind of appeal to me, like, oh, so just like you and your siblings and your parents up against the apocalypse. That's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah.
It's all focused on just a nuclear family. It's a father, a wife, and all of his kids. And then you get some additional characters that eventually come in as well that aren't related. But
cool.
yeah.
And there's local co-op as well, so that's interesting. Online co-op is still in development, so that will be released in a future update.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be interesting if you guys are, you know, like online co-op and thinking of getting this.
Mm-hmm.
So also I did see the few negative reviews I did see were because of bugs.
No.
So maybe this is one you need to wait a little bit before you actually get.
Yeah.
To find out those bugs.
But with them adding future updates, hopefully those will end up getting fixed in the future. So yeah. But yeah, the developer Dead Mage is also located in Iran. So I did some research on that. I was like, oh, yeah. So they do have some developers located in Canada and the US. But yeah, from what I was looking up, the bulk of the people who work at the company are in Iran. I was like, oh, that's interesting. This is the first, I think this is the first Iranian game that I've been able to like find. Yeah. So that's really neat.
This is a bit on the pricier side. This is $18.49, but I think with all the updates that they keep making and online co-ops coming, I think you'll get a good significant amount of time put into this. So
yeah, it's $19.79, and from the reviews I've seen on YouTube of like the people who've done playthroughs, I've seen an average of like 24 hours for most people play through it. So yeah, at least the first time. But yeah,
so that's good. If that's just like one playthrough, that's really good, because obviously this has got great replayability.
Yeah, and technically it has an open ending. Now when you get to that open ending where like you hit the end of the story, you can still run missions. It's a certain set of missions you can do over and over, and of course they get randomized each time, and you have daily missions and stuff. I feel like it's kind of placeholder right now for them to do future updates so that you can get to that point in the story, and then like when they drop a future update, you suddenly are just able to go into that. But yeah, so they do have a sort of open-ended, like you can finish the game, but you can still just keep playing if you want to. So
nice. Yeah. It's that endless mode.
Sort of like, I guess Bastion has one of those as well. So let me see. With that, that's the end of our Tuesday. Next is Thursday, which the bulk of a huge number of games came out on Thursday, as per usual. But Thursday, September 5th, and Godless Weave is here. I want to know your thoughts on River City Girls, so go ahead and start typing.
Oh, thanks for joining us, Godless Weave. It's always nice to have you here.
Yep. So yeah, there's trouble once again in River City, and this time only the girls can save the day. Using a variety of attacks, weapons, and items, these hot-blooded heroines are ready to teach the city's low-lifes a lesson, either solo or in two-player co-op. It's an old-school rumble for a new generation.
Oh, I love the way this looks. It's just so bright, but again, it's that Streets of Rage kind of thing that your
childhood trauma.
Yeah, definitely. But I love the fact that she's got this cute little backpack which she gets out sometimes and hits people with. Great.
And she's got like fists, like spiked fists. Yeah, so apparently I do believe there was a previous game to this. And these are by the developers of Shantae, if you don't know. Which they do a lot of these really pretty pixel art games. Was there a previous River City game? I only see River City Boys. So I think it has like it's a sequel to a game that doesn't exist. kind of thing. Like it's sort of that thing. It's like Trolls 2, but it's like, so this time the girls are saying that saving their boyfriends who got kidnapped. So yeah, so it's like
no, I know which so it's River City Ransom.
Oh, River City Ransom, is it? Ah,
yeah.
Was it a different director?
Yeah, it's
different dev.
Yeah, different developer.
Oh, it was. Yeah, Conatus Creative. So I guess they got the license for it or something. Oh, they got contracted. Okay, so that's cool. So it is a sequel to that. That's neat. Is an old SNES game. Oh, an old NES game. So this is like, a sequel to a really old game. That's cool.
Yeah, it's like a homage.
Oh, that's neat. So yeah, and this is by Way Forward, that is located right here in well, not right here. Valencia, California is north of me, but yeah. So beautiful Valencia. But yeah, River City Girls. It looks fun.
It's $23.79, so it is a bit on the pricier side. It's only local multiplayer and local co-op, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I am only seeing times are varying.
Yeah,
I'm seeing a lot of 2 hours or something. I don't know if that's the story mode. I wonder how long the story mode is.
Yeah.
Because it says 6 large city regions to fight through. So.
Yeah. There's I like some of these reviews. I aura-ora'd someone and then dabbed their unconscious body.
Yeah.
Ora. Oh my word. But yeah, so apparently there are glitches though. There's some people who are saying that there's been bugs and crashes. That said, this is by Way Forward. They're pretty well-known indie development team. I mean, with Shantae and such. $29.99 with a well-known studio. I wouldn't necessarily balk at, but that said, I'm not. I might put this on my wish list. I'm gonna put it on my wish list.
I think if this was online multiplayer and online co-op, then I think that price point would be is more plausible, because then you can get a bit more play out of it. Definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
For those of us who don't live near a game playing friend. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking and I don't see. Yeah, they got a bunch of music. They got music by Chipzel. That's cool. But yeah, I don't see like anything about like a hard mode or like a replay mode or anything like that. So yeah, but yeah, River City Girls. Our next title is Sin Slayers. All right, Sin Slayers is an RPG with roguelike elements set in a dark fantasy world, where your choices determine how challenging the fight's enemies will be. Yep. So yeah, it looks like classical turn-based combat with a sort of dark apocalyptic aesthetic.
I don't like the character models.
I'm probably blinded by nostalgia because this sort of reminds me of some other games I've played. But yeah, the character models aren't the prettiest.
No,
that's for sure.
Again, with that sort of thumbnail title flag at the side, it's like it looks bad. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, it definitely looks. It definitely from a distance, it's like, well, no, even up close. Yeah. Yeah. But at the very least, the aesthetic, even though it's not necessarily super appealing, it all seems to match. Like the characters seem to match with the background, which, if you don't like the character look, you're not gonna probably like the background look.
Yeah, I mean, it's cohesive. So.
It's cohesive, yes. It is a cohesive art style. I do like the overworld setting where it's like you're traveling around on sort of like a big overworld area exploring. I've seen this in a lot of Japanese RPGs, Well, this is clearly a strong homage to a Japanese RPG. Just overall. It is created by Goonswarm, which they are located in Kirov, Russia. And is this their first game? I think it is. No, it is not. Let me see. They also made Sin Slayers The First Sin? It's just like, wait. Why does this one with a subtitle? Oh no. Did they release the same game twice? Uh-oh.
One of them's free. One of them's free.
Oh, one of them is free. Is this a demo?
Which came out in April, and it came out in April this year.
Oh, okay. This version contains 2 to 3 hours of gameplay. All right,
okay.
the free version. And then
so yeah, if you're curious about the one that's just been released, you can play Sin Slayers: The First Sin for a couple of hours and you know get a real feel for it.
All right, I actually kind of like that. So they released a game ahead of time instead of early access. They released a smaller version of the game. Okay, I kind of like that. Like that. So, yeah, that's actually pretty cool. I actually prefer that over early access.
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
because early access, you don't know when it's going out, and you don't know if they're going to make some radical changes to the game, which you definitely weren't on board with. This is 15% off right now, and it's £9.68.
Yeah, it's $12.74, and so with the demo being 2 to 3 hours, it's at least 4 to 6. Probably longer though. Although I'm going to see a negative review with 11 hours. But it's all in Russian.
I see most people with like 7 or 8 hours of gameplay. So yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, the demo gives you a pretty heavy chunk of the game then. So yeah,
nice.
That is nice. Okay. The Sin Slayers. Goonswarm has released their next game, and they've had a few in the past too. So although I think this is probably their most promising looking title that I've seen of their releases. So, but it's cool to see growth. The next title is This Merchant Life. It is by Inexplicable Games out of the United Kingdom. This Merchant Life is a trading strategy game set in the troubled medieval kingdom of Peregrine. Turn a rickety wooden cart, 2 horses, and a few coins into a thriving entrepreneurial triumph. This looks like Menu's the game. But that sort of fits with an economic title.
Yeah. Yeah. Something like this, there is something that appeals to me about it, but as you said, it's just menus and menus, and I would have preferred a bit more. I don't know, have a bit more visual to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a bit more visual. Yeah, because I've seen a lot of empty space on the screen, and it's like, oh man, you could have like done more world setting and stuff.
Yeah, I would have loved that. Loved that, and because I do like those kind of merchant games. I do. You know, you sell stuff maybe to heroes and everything, and then they go off and they go to a dungeon and they say, "Hey, look, I've brought back these things for you. Do you want to buy them off me or something?" Or maybe you hire them to go to a dungeon and they bring back stuff for you. And then you sell things to the general populace. I do like that. And if they had that with the fact that you're a traveling merchant as well, that would be really interesting. I don't know. Someone make that game. Someone make that game.
There's like there's also Moonlighter. That's another game that has sort of a merchant element to it.
I found that the actual selling bit though was a bit
hectic.
Yeah, and yet it didn't make it very interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I've played other games where things are a bit more interesting. You get to know your customers better and everything like this. And this was just oh, you're selling something. Oh, you've got to chase someone out of the store because they're trying to steal something, and that was like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's didn't appeal to me so much. Yeah.
I think a lot of the sort of lack of visuals in this title, I think, to a degree, I think it was a design decision regarding like the limited resources of the studio. And in a way, I think it's probably wise, because even though it is sort of menus the game, it looks like a viable product. Even though it's not necessarily like, you could obviously have done more. But yeah, it's a viable product. They have a lot of these different sort of mini games. Like the combat has this sort of interesting circle grid thing going on. So they've got a lot of different elements going on, and I feel like this, you might need a manual to learn this, so it probably needs a really good tutorial.
Yeah, that's another thing. It's kind of puts me off.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of just want to jump into something and play. Yeah. Oh, hello, Buffoon Batman. Thanks for joining us.
Hey. But yeah, so, and I'm looking at some of the reviews. Let me see. One of the negative reviews is it's very similar to Frontier, but it doesn't. So a lot of reviews would say, oh, it's similar to this, and then I'm like, oh, well, that kind of colors your opinion. But they do mention that when you upgrade your attack, like the enemies kind of upgrade automatically with that, so it feels like a constant sort of struggle and rat race. Yeah, so, and no matter how much you raise your stealth, it seems that an attack almost always happens every trip. So, let me see, graphics, lore, music. Yeah, so, however, it is surprisingly lifelike in the following. So the critic is that it's lifelike. The everyday grind, trying to make ends meet, compromising values to succeed, never-ending debt, and reality of life where you're not a major character. There's plot, but you can't get in. And progress or die attitude of career paths. It's like, oh my gosh. Like...
This is real life. Oh my god.
No. So this is not an escapist game, apparently.
Yeah. See, I need a bit more escapism in my merchant games.
But you know, for those people who are looking for despair, or perhaps getting ready for working in the corporate world, maybe this can prepare you.
Yeah, and it's only $7.99 for that experience. So,
yep, yeah. $7.99. It's $10.99 US. Yeah, and you know what? The pixel art where it is there looks really nice. That's another thing I gotta say. Looks really nice. But yep. All right. So onwards to our next title, which is Pesterquest. If I can copy paste it properly, there we go. Embark on an epic quest. On a quest of epic importance in Pesterquest, a grimsicle episode. Grimsicle, that's a buzzword I don't need to hear. Episodic visual novel adventure set in a darkly funny, homestuck, hive swap universe. Find all of the answers you're looking for as you zap between Earth and Alternia, making the friends as you go. Homestuck.
Yeah, this is why I wanted to bring this in. I'm still waiting for Hive Swap to the next episode of Hive Swap to come out. So, you never know. Maybe this will tide me over. But yeah,
Homestuck. That's like my childhood coming back. And the thing is, I never actually read Homestuck, but I knew the memes. I knew the Homestuck memes, and I knew like Homestuck characters and like cosplays and stuff. So I had like knowledge of Homestuck, even though I'd never read it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I wasn't sort of like, because I think I missed that whole thing. But my friend suggested that I play Hive Swap. It's great. It's a great point and click game, and yeah, I loved it, and I want more. I want more, and yeah, and it's. I think they're working on a second episode for it because kind of left it on a cliffhanger. So I'm wondering if that's sort of fills in the gap.
yeah,
they're by different developers though. I'm not sure. Oh no, same developer. Yeah, same developer.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, this is by What Pumpkin Games. I guess they're the ones officially working with them. I think they're located in the U.S. At least like some of the employees that I found, like they were in the United States. So I'm gonna assume that the studio is in the U.S. But I mean, as it is right now, a lot of people do remote work. So especially in the indie scene. But yeah. It's gotten mostly positive reviews. As someone who's not really into visual novels, I don't know if it's going to be great or not. But yeah, maybe it'd be a good way for me to jump into the universe.
Yeah, I mean, it's at 90%, and there's 122 reviews, so that it's really good. And it's 15% off right now, so it's $7.89.
Yep, 10.99 US, 10.19 US.
Yeah, but this is episodic, so I don't know where it's best to wait for a while. I am seeing like less than 2 hours of play on this from most people. So this isn't a very long visual novel.
Oh yeah, and it's going to be 14 volumes in total. They say that a new volume is going to release every 2 weeks, but will it? Yeah. So yeah, I guess we'll see in 2 weeks if Pesterquest has another episode come out, then we'll know. All right, and that is Pesterquest. Next title is Widower's Sky. Alright, follow a father, son, and dog across a strange planet. They will endure a daunting journey of towering buildings and beautiful vistas. Using the ancient portals they happened upon. Equipped with only his bow, the father must fight against the wildlife and the machines while keeping the son fed and rested.
So this is one I've seen crop up quite a lot in indie mags and things like that, and I think it follows like they lose the mother in the crash or something. So I think you crash land on the planet, and because you're trying to find a home, and you're having to repair your ship, and so but you've got to try and keep your son safe as well. So yeah, it's very and it's beautiful, these beautiful landscapes and everything. But yeah, you're trying to cope after just being recently widowed.
So yeah, and I think there's a narrator that's involved as well. Is there? Let me see. Engaging story. Yeah, that's told through narration. Yep. So it reveals itself through chapters of the game. So there's puzzle, platforming, etc. The actual character model, which is really small, I don't like the animation work on it, and some of the sound effects are really, how do I explain it? Probably not original sound stuff. It's probably stuff that's like stock sounds. Right. So that is one thing that a couple things that have annoyed me a little bit about it. And though the environment is very pretty, when it's in the full screen, like it actually looks better in a small screen. When I had it on the full screen view, I was like, I don't know if I like this as much. So that's something I just noticed. If it has a really good story, even if it was just like all just asset flips, if it has a really good story and kind of like a way that it interacts with gameplay to tell it, then you know what, it's probably a very worthwhile game. It's just I was just like, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know about this one personally, but I have seen a lot of people swear by it. So
yeah, I mean, it's got a helpful dog.
Yeah, so, that's true. Yeah, there's a dog. Yeah,
and it's 30% off right now, so it's £5 and 3p.
Yeah. Let me see. It is by Wally, and they're located in Toronto, and this is their first game on Steam. So congrats.
How much is it in US?
Oh, in US it is $6.99. Okay. So I've got. Oh, it looks like it's mostly negative reviews.
So far, there's only 9 reviews. So
there's only 9, so it's not really good sampling yet. Okay, well, I'm seeing a lot of complaints about controls. That could really hurt. That could really hurt it if the controls aren't great. I was looking into the controls, and the movement mechanics are weird. Maybe it takes a bit to get used to it, and once you get used to it, you can go very fluidly through the game. But because I have also seen playthroughs where people are really fluid, but they said it took a while to get used to it. So, but yeah. Widow Sky. The next title is Space Cows. Space Cows is a cheesy twin-stick shooter featuring weaponized toilet plunger and intense zero-gravity combat. Shoot and dash and wobble in slow motion to save the cows and lay vengeance upon an evil corporation.
The trailer is great. It explains more about it. So your weapon is flatulence, and you have to save all your cows from this corporation. And I think you're kind of naked in space as well, apart from this your space helmet.
Yep. Yeah, apparently that is the case because it is there is nudity, so. But I think it's just your little bum. So it's a weird game.
Yeah, it's very weird. It's cool though. It's not something I would pick up and play, but I think this person's put a lot of effort into this.
Oh, it's going on Nintendo Switch. Holy crap. They really got so that when it went through certification too. Oh my word.
You're just thinking, what's the world coming to? So many fart games. We've seen a couple, haven't we?
I feel like that's another subgenre we could make is fart games. That's another subgenre.
Yeah.
My word. Games that involve flatulence.
Yeah.
Oh, did you also there's also that game where it was a spit kiss. So it was this weird Steam game where basically you had to spit between yourself and another character, and you'd have to throw spit back and forth, and it would help you move over objects, and it was weird. It just sounds disgusting, but it's actually really fun. It's just
so this might be similar. It sounds disgusting, but it's maybe a lot of fun.
Let me see where. And what was weird also is that it was, yes, there it is. It also has a really cool art style. All right, just quick diversion. This is Spit Kiss.
Oh, gross. Oh.
Yep.
You're spitting on other things as well. Oh.
Yep. It is really, really strange. Epic story of boundless love. And the thing is, everyone I've talked to who has played this game loved it. So I'm y'all are weird, but okay. It's just these sort of absurd games. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them. Just totally absurd games. But yeah, so that's Space Cows. That's $11.69.
10% off, so it's £9.26.
Mm-hmm. Milk must flow.
Milk must flow. We've only got 2 reviews right now, so yeah, we can't really say whether it's run out.
Oh, that must remind me. I did a series of quests in Final Fantasy XIV where it's all about milking yaks. It was just really unsettling puns they were making. I was like, oh, please stop. This is really uncomfortable.
You've already made me milk a yak. Just stop. Just stop.
Stop with this dialogue. Stop it. Anyhow. So yeah, that's Space Cows. Our final title, Friday, September 6th, has also had a bit of a buzz. It is Creature in the Well. Unlock the power of an ancient city and face the ominous, all-seeing creature in this unique pinball-inspired hack and slash.
Oh yeah. I've seen this quite a lot, and it the gameplay just looks amazing,
Mm-hmm.
and it's such a unique idea. It's like
Mm-hmm.
you're repairing a robot, and to repair it, you've got to like hit all these pinballs and everything, with this sort of lightsaber and like ball. It looks so cool.
Oh yeah, it's very interesting. The oh, this is another one I might have to put on my wish list. Darn it. I just like shrank my wrist just a little bit, but it's really striking. It's really pretty. The devs, there's like 3 devs, and they're each located in different states. So another one of those examples, they're located in Texas, California, and Quebec. So that one's in Canada. But so they're all devs that work remotely. I'm always impressed with people who are able to make a cohesive product working so far away from each other. And it's just got this really like neat post-apocalyptic weird aesthetic. It's striking. The one I've seen a couple complaints, notably that when you die, it's really punishing how far back you sometimes have to start from. Yeah, so there is some of that. But yeah, but otherwise, I mean, this looks really fun.
Yeah, this is a unique concept.
Mm-hmm.
This is the kind of thing when we look through the list. This is something I want to see.
Yes.
This sort of unique storytelling and mechanics.
Yeah, it's just like whenever it's like they took darts at a wall of like all the different game genres. It's like throw one dart, throw another dart. It's like we're gonna make a ARPG pinball game. It's great when devs do that. It's so great when devs do that.
It's fantastic. This is 10% off right now, and it's at $10.25. So far, it's at 78%, mostly positive review. 37 people have reviewed it.
Let me see, Flight School Studio. Flight School Studio's made some other games, but they were VR games. This is their first non-VR title.
Some people are complaining about lots of repeated rooms and incredibly frustrating level design after the first couple of stages.
Game's core mechanic while creating theory. Okay, yeah, frustrating. Yep. I mean, yeah, they could be. I could definitely see this being a very like puzzle game oriented, and some of those are going to be frustrating. And the thing is, with it being pinball, it's not just you're puzzling through. Like you could know how to solve something, but you also need the finesse to actually accomplish it. So that could get really frustrating, especially if it has you start like if a really difficult puzzle is really far away from the last checkpoint. So yeah, so I definitely would understand some frustrations with that.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, that is our release list.
Yes, but you know what that means, don't you?
Yeah. Yes. I do. Yes. I'm ready.
You, as long as you're ready, I'm gonna have to ask you to because I with my arm I don't want to keep typing. So, this is Bylo, BYLO.
Bilo. Oh, that's nice and easy. You wake up once again, but something has changed this time. Something is different, but everyone else is doing the same thing over and over again, just like they always do. You drift further and further into insanity, and every action you must escape. Don't go insane. Why is horror like the first thing people think of for like really low graphic? Ooh, that's creepy.
This is my theme this week. I worked in a theme this week, and it's true. You're right. It's always the horror genre that kind of people feel it's easy to clobber together, because I think it's easy to see something unsettling when you haven't created a very good good game. It's like, yeah, this looks unsettling. Oh, it's because it's also a horror game as well. Yeah, okay, yeah. So
I suppose so. But at the same time, to to make like proper horror, it's such a delicate formula.
Absolutely. I think this is why people who do like, people that really do like horror games get really sick of this sort of shovelware being put on Steam.
That said, it is free and it's 5 minutes.
It's free and it's 5 minutes. So, you know
what?
So,
no, so if it's 5 minutes and it's free, so it doesn't take that much time or any money.
Oh, you could do something else in 5 minutes. You could get your dishes done. Anything.
I could drink some coffee.
Indeed. So that's the first one. That's our first terrible horror game. And the next one is Protein for Muscle. Yes, that's the horror game title.
This is gonna be unsettling. What? Okay, longing for muscles is one of the fundamental aspirations of humanity. What? Protein, which exists for muscles, is the only item we can trust. Steal protein without being found. Well, steal protein.
Steal protein.
In Macho Men, it's easy.
Yeah, so this is about stealing like the protein powder for protein shakes. And there were unsettling things going on in this place. I don't know where they are. I don't know what this place is called, but yeah, it looks like a gym late at night, maybe. And you're trying to get protein powder.
just the concept is just like, how much alcohol were you drinking when you came up with this idea?
I think, you know what? I think what happened, I think two guys who obviously work out a lot, they stayed late at the gym. All the lights were going out and they were like, oh, damn, this is getting really creepy, yo. Oh, no. Oh, imagine if this was a game. Oh, yeah, we should definitely do that. Yeah. So, yeah, this must be like two friends.
The thing is, even though it's so dark and you can barely see anything, the visuals are actually better than the last game.
Yeah, oh yeah, the visuals are... It seems like there's more better assets gone into this.
Although the guys who are chasing you are wearing string bikinis, which is really unsettling. Like,
and they're really shiny as well, which is
really shiny.
Really
it's like, you know what? Actually, if some like jacked up dude in just a bikini late at night was chasing you down a hall, that would be scary. That would be pretty scary.
In the about this game, it says, "Do you like muscles?" Oh, I see. Yeah. Do you want to be macho men? Oh man, I feel ya. Do you want protein? Good news. The bodybuilder training school is full of protein. It's easy. Just sneak in at night and pick it up. But beware, they are sensitive to the smell of protein. There is no life if the steal is found. Easy if you have your passion. Protein for muscle. Don't forget. Wow.
This is such a meme game. I kind of... You know what? It's $1.99. I don't hate it. And maybe you get some laughs out of it.
Yeah, this is £1.69. So yeah, there's entertainment to be found in it for sure. The next one is Mental House.
Mental House. Okay, there we go. Ooh, 1614. Occult games. Mental House is a psychological first-person horror game. Puzzles, unexpected moments, depressing atmosphere, and more. Explore the research center and try to survive, revealing the terrible secret of this place.
It looks quite similar to the first game, yet a bit more done to it, but not much more.
Yeah, it's... They have this annoying filter over the trailer, but let me see. Yeah, the assets are a bit better. The lighting is a bit better. but it's still very like it's no masterpiece as far as that's artwork.
But this one charges, I mean, 15% off, $12.31 for it.
Yeah, that's a lot. It's a lot of puzzles.
AAA quality graphics.
Please.
That's what it says in the key features.
So they have positive reviews, but both positive reviews are in Russian, and they have very similar formats. Let me see. And of course, the 2 negative reviews, one in Polish and one in Chinese. But yeah. Psychological horror, mutilated body. Okay, right? Cult games. And this is their first title. Yeah, I wouldn't drop 16 on this. No, not unless I see a reviews going like, oh my gosh, this is like a hidden gem. This is amazing. I'm scared silly. Although, granted, as someone who doesn't play horror, I would play it anyway. If I was like, oh, it's actually scary. No. I'm a coward. Okay. But yeah, that was. I see the theme. So.
Yeah, that's it for my horror list of horrors.
On the bright side, you didn't make me lose faith in humanity. So with any of the the first one was the worst. The second one was like a meme, and the third one, maybe it's good. I can't tell. It's probably not good.
I think you can tell.
Yeah.
But it's just
probably not. That's probably not. Yeah. No. All right, so this is where we get to what was your best of the list?
I have 2 games that I want to give a good look at. So, Root Letter, Last Answer. I do, I would like to play at some point. If it's got some cheesy FMV elements in it as well, that would just make my day, definitely. But yeah, I do need to play through Root Letter to begin with to fully appreciate it. The next one is Pesterquest. So yeah, although the price point is putting me off, because it's episodic, I'm not sure if it's going to be like, if they're going to give those for free. That would be nice. That would be nice if they did that. So yeah, I'll have to see what they do with the rest of the episodes. So yeah, I'm going to wait for that.
Yeah, maybe they'll have 14. Okay, 14 volumes will unfold in regular releases. Make every friend in one affordable bundle. I don't know if that means that this is the bundle though.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, but we'll wait. We'll see. Yeah. We'll see in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, there's probably something that is probably best to wait. Yep. Okay. As for me, I see that your theme was the visual novels this week were pretty good. Which we had decent visual. It's not every week that we get decent visual novels. That's for sure. The ones I'm probably most interested in would be, well, of course, Children of Morta. Like, hands down. Actually, yeah, hands down, Children of Morta is definitely at the top. Although I actually added quite a few games to my wish list this week. Like 3? Yeah, I added 3. Children of Morta is up there. I want to get this game soon as possible, probably, because it's in my genre, but I'll get it probably when it's on sale.
Yeah,
when it's on sale.
It looks like really well done, very pretty, and got a great narrative running through it as well.
Yeah,
and there's some, but it's got great replay value as well. It's got different elements of the story so that you can discover, which I like.
Yep. And it's so pretty, and you know what, I'll probably get it after the update for the online play comes, And I'll see if that update for online play also comes with any sort of maybe some story, some additional events that can happen in the exploration, etc. Yeah, I would really want to check these out. And I guess a sort of a second one that I really liked was probably Creature in the Well. Just it's just really striking. It's a distant second for me, but yeah, I would like to check out Creature in the Well eventually as well. Yep.
Nice.
And yeah, a decent week overall. Not too many releases, but a decent releases that there are.
But also, I think there's a nice variety as well, which is always a nice thing to have.
Oh, I guess I had a theme in my choices too. Both of them are top down. So there's a similarity to both of us. But yeah, they're both nice. All right. So with that, let's get to our shameless plugging. Roadypie, tell the internet about yourself.
Oh my god. We have recently set up a Steam community. So if you look for SR podcast, so join us and we'll be updating our reviews on this, and we're trying to get the curator tag. So we need to do our 10 reviews and then send out the reviews each week as we review here on the podcast. So that's what we'll be doing. So yeah, feel free to give us a follow. And other than that, I haven't really been streaming, but you never know. I might pop again.
Yeah, I actually look forward to seeing you on again. And as for me, I've been actually streaming again, so that's been kind of interesting. I've gotten back into streaming a bit. It's not really predictable what day I stream because there's been a lot of things changing in my schedule, but I am at least like, when I have an evening off, I'm like, you know what, I should stream. So I'm just enjoying that. It's also been cooler in the late evenings, so that's been nice too.
Yeah, I think that will help as well. Like with me, when it like now it starts to get cooler, it's like it's wig weather again. So I can do that.
Exactly. That is really, really nice. And of course, to our chat, thank you so much for being here, Akiho, Buffoon Batman, Godless Weeb. We're glad to have all of you here, and Falcon's Bane, yes, and I hope all of you were able to find a game that you would interest you. So, that's our goal here.
Yeah, and of course, people watching on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to leave us a comment if there's anything that this week that you wanted to pick up. Please tell us why, and if you enjoyed it. Hope to see you next week.
Yeah, well, see y'all next time.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.